Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, January 7th, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I take responsibility for how I am showing up in these energies. That is the coolest thing about responsibility instead of responsibility. Because when we make it responsibility, it means in any given situation, you get to choose how and what your response is. So keep that in mind today because we have some aggro energy. Somebody asked me what aggro means, and it's kind of a combination of like aggressive, aggravated. There's more words that are eluding me right now, but those two work. Aggravated, aggressive. That's the aggro energy. It's just rah energy. That's the best word for it. So today we have the moon finishing up in Aries, making some strong connections, and then the moon moving into Taurus, making some strong connections, and we have Mercury finishing up in Sagittarius, which I actually do love, but making a connection to Mars, an inconjunct to Mars. And some of these energies are just looking for a fight, and other ones are just confused and maybe feeding into the fight through their confusion. So, one of the energies today is the moon in Aries squaring Mars in Cancer. Anytime we have a square energy is combative. It's a challenge. You know, what I like to say about squares is often like these two energies are kind of focused on the same goal but have very different ways about going about it. And their very different ways can show up in the world and make us combative. So, it's extra combative because it is moon in Aries and Mars. Mars even in Cancer. And it's that 29th degree that we're hanging out at, that final degree. You know, I feel like this also, this square might even just be the fight of life goes on versus the desire for hibernation, at least for me, in this winter season. Mars in Cancer is like, I want to take my action and roll myself to bed. And Mars in Aries is like, well, we have to do this and this and this and this and this before we can roll ourselves to bed. So it might just be inner fire, inner challenge that is happening in that energy. But be aware that, you know, we have this squaring energy taking us for a little ride. Being that it is in what is typically void moon energy, again, I'm definitely feeling that it might be a little exhaustion and it may be a little snippy in the energies. So be very aware of that. That's happening like around 1 p.m. Pacific time, but you might be feeling that beforehand, so watch for that. Now, I wish I could say the moon in Taurus is like, put yourself to bed. Here you are. You're good. Go to bed early. Moon moves into Taurus at about 2 p.m. Pacific time. But its first order of business is squaring Pluto. And so, again, the agenda might be moon in Taurus, I would like to go to bed. And Pluto in Aquarius is like, well, fine, but do this first. There's other ways that you could interpret this, but these squares are definitely challenging. Mars and Pluto are both challenging energies, as we know, as we just are coming off their opposition, and the moon can bring emotional reaction. Now, let me say that the moon in Taurus is definitely less emotionally reactive than the moon in Aries, so that will calm it, but Pluto's really good at pushing all the buttons. So, be aware of that. Don't be that. Be aware of that and choose your responsibility in all of this. Now, speaking of responsibility, we have, and this is where it can be a game changer, we have Mercury today working on finishing up in Sagittarius. It's going to move into Capricorn tomorrow, early tomorrow. So we're going from 28 degrees Mercury, 29 degrees, that final degree. Now, it is going to be an inconjunct with Mars. And I always say about those, like, it's like, yeah, not really sure which way we're going. We don't know how to look eye to eye when it comes to this. But here's, again, where we can have a game changer. Mercury in Sagittarius has the potentiality for turning on the optimism, for finding the good, for seeing the good in any given situation. Now, Mars in Cancer may be feeling a little grumbly coming off of its square with the moon, and just wanting generally to be put to bed. But Mercury and Sagittarius can find the good in any given situation, even if, you know, it's a good story. I find that in my life. Like, if something makes a good story, like, okay, there's something to this, right? So we may find where there's a good story, where there's something to laugh at. I believe that situations lead to good. So this morning, Monday morning, I did not get the snow day that I wanted, and I work at my friend's restaurant on Mondays and Tuesdays, and so I had to get up early and do that, and I woke up to a flat tire. And I was very supported through the day. Joe took me to work, somebody else picked me up, a neighbor filled my tire, and I took it to the shop and had to get a new tire, and my brother helped me with that. And I just felt very supported through the energy. And I was telling my sister about it, and she's like, oh, you know, a little sad face. And I was like, no, but I really believe the universe, like, does these things for us. And being that we have really cold weather here and impending storms coming in, maybe my car needed new tires to better, you know, grip the road. Like, they weren't that old, but maybe that's what they needed. I trust that the universe is looking out for us. And that's so Sagittarius of me, right? And that's so Mercury and Sagittarius. Can you hold that space that the universe doesn't have it out for you? It's looking out for you. Even if it hasn't jumped on your agenda to hibernate for the rest of the winter, okay? So trust in that. And if you can lean into that, I think that you will find things going a little smoother through these energies. I can't say that, you know, you won't feel some of the fire and the ire raising with some of these energies. I think it's a day when I look at this Astro that people are just going to bug you, and it's just going to bug you that they're doing things different than you, but that's life. And to be fair, it's very productive in the world that we do things differently, because things need to be done differently in different situations. So there's reason for this. Again, even if it's annoying. We do end the evening on a rather nice note. Actually, we end the evening in some lazy cat. I love me a lazy cat. Love me lazy cat Astro. We have the moon in Taurus connecting to Venus in Pisces. So you're gonna get that rolled into bed at some point, cozy, warm, if you're lucky, snuggled up with cats, you know, that kind of treatment. The evening ends with that. We just have to get through some of these other energies. Moon in Taurus does have a desire to be productive, and so just realize, like, it's all productive. It's all productive. Rest is productive. Recalibrating yourself is productive. You know, showing up and going to work is productive. There's productivity in all of it. And sometimes it, again, just is this mind shift. Get the mind shift under your belt to help support this other incoming Astro. This is part of the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, is consciousness shift. There we go. Let's look at these cards. I do have a Rumi card for today. Watch your mind. Watch your mind. The mind is the burden. What we think about something drives so much of us, but what we think is a perspective. And so your perspective can shift. So see, if you're feeling that burden, if you're in the emotions, thinking about something the way you always do, where can you change that? Where can you receive the benefit? Where can you receive the friendliness in and from the universe? Because it's here for us to receive. Now, I also love this card, Merciful Mother Jamal, card 44. I'm going to read a little bit of it. O sudden resurrection, O countless blessings, O blazing fire in the jungle of thoughts. Today you arrive with laughter to break open the jail. Sounds aligned. This oracle brings a message. There is a shift taking place in a matter of great importance to you. From justice to mercy, and this is your path, your destiny, your blessing, now opening up before you. It may be a particular matter, but it likely includes your entire life orientation. You are being granted refuge, respite, and shelter from the storms of struggle and doubt, and being given a divine sanctuary of safe harbor. You will find that the unraveling of the struggle and the pain now happens through tenderness and a gentler approach. Here it is. You're being asked to take stock of your own thoughts and attitudes. Having to be tough and play hardball in the past has served its purpose, yet this oracle comes to you with guidance to become softer in your way and your attitude. Can you gently but firmly place to one side the judge within, the one who keeps score and demands retribution, an eye for an eye, and the exponent of absolute justice? Can you invite instead the one who gentles the aggressive lord within, the aggro within, and allows him to bow before the great lady who loves, is wise, and who steadies the workings of the world with the softest of touches? Don't fear that if you suddenly give yourself a break, all your discipline, hardness, toughness, and suffering will go to waste. No, all things provide learning and serve divine purpose. Oh my gosh, it all serves. It all is productive, ultimately. But now there's no reason to continue in that way. It's time to learn another way. You are strong enough to become gentle. You're being given the message your prayers are powerful. Although action in the world is part of your soul purpose and plan, when you pray, have conviction that your prayers are real and are heard and are responded to by a great universal heart. Pray carefully, thoughtfully. Be present and speak as if you were speaking to your dearest, oldest, and most influential and powerful friend, because of course that is exactly what you're doing. Pray from the heart and trust the power of your prayers. This oracle brings you the message of the great power of compassion that is reaching for you, that it wants to help you, but it's waiting for you to ask. So ask, and you shall receive. Wish I was a little smoother. Where did the card go? Where did it go? Here it is. Ask, and you shall receive. So there you go. A beautiful Rumi card to support these energies and your personal responsibility. So that's it for today. You can book a reading, your head readings, general readings, any and all of that. Reach out to me for any of that. And besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. And remember who you are, for you are the solution. Namaste.